An ice cream truck.
I am here with AJ Buckley, best known for his role on CBS SEAL Team.
Time to shine. It's not cool in Hollywood to say you found God.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
G'day, mates. It's your host, Mary O'Neill Phillips, and you are listening to Country Outdoors Podcast.
I care about the pretty things. I'm a sensitive man.
Yeah, you seem very sensitive. Although Irish men are kind of sensitive.
I cry all the time.
They are though, right? Like
Yeah.
that's a very Irish thing.
I didn't cry as much until I had my daughter, and I became
Yeah.
very...
That's a thing.
Oh,
That's a thing.
daughters are just... Not that sons are any different, but there's a feeling that you have with your daughter. You're like, this is a scary world. And when you realize that she's going to model every man after you.
Yeah, it's weight.
And I was a bit of a degenerate for a streak in my life. I was like, oh, well, God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
Right.
it's important.
Listen, I'm still here.
Yeah, I have not burned yet.
Yeah, no.
All right, guys, and we are back. I am here with AJ Buckley, a good friend of mine, best known for his role on CBS SEAL Team, but he's been on TVs, movie, everything for the better part of 30 years now?
We're coming up on that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just turned 49.
So yeah.
49's a weird one. It's the last year of your 40s.
How do you feel though? Don't you feel like better the older you get?
You know what the crazy thing is, and you know my I've always sort of been called like my nickname's like Winnie the Pooh. Like I'm a man child.
Yeah.
I go to Target and I go to the toy section. I try to tell my wife it's for the kids.
Yeah.
But I just want to see what remote control cars they have, what cool Legos they have, some Star Wars stuff. So yeah, getting older. Yeah, but this one was like I was like, whoa.
Well, I'm gonna be 50.
Because my daughter literally goes, she's 11 and she's very smart. And not that this makes her smart by saying this, but she was like, last year of your 40s, Dad. I was like, and she's like, and then you're 50. And I'm like, and I remember when my dad turned 50. I was like, oh, Dad's 50.
That's old.
That's old. But yeah, I feel good, man. I mean, I feel like I'm just starting to figure it out of maybe who I am, or that I'm maybe, if you were to look at from 1 to 50, and if 18 months of getting to 49 in an infant's life where they take their first step, I feel like I've just taken my first stride and be like, oh, I know who I am. I know what I want to do. I'm like very confident in the things. And it wasn't that I wasn't confident before. I just didn't know who I was. I was like, I was lost in thinking I was trying different things. But this, I was like, and maybe it's the age. I wish there was, though, that you could be, as you got older, you became more like a child, like, and see the world with excitement and believe in these things. That's why the greatest part of being a dad is you get to relive the magic.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
You know, you're like,
Yeah.
you know, when you be driving home in traffic, it's not like an ice cream truck. You're like, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Your kid's like, no, ice cream. Like that. You're like, where's that? When do we lose that part?
You know, a lot of us grew up with Field and Stream, dreaming about our next cast, our next hunt, and our next outdoor escape. And now you can read the best of outdoor storytelling the way it was meant to be read. Field and Stream is back in print. For a limited time, new members get a bonus journal with their first delivery, and premium members also get a members-only hat. This special offer is only available for a limited time, so join the 1871 Club today and head to fieldandstream.com/1871club.
Country Outdoors is proud to partner with Yingling, the oldest brewery in America since 1829 and the official light lager of the outdoors.
So, like, that's part of the journey in your faith, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, I can't speak for you, but from knowing you,
Well, you guys have been very much a part of my journey back. Because when we first met, I wasn't as dialed in as I am. Not even saying that I'm dialed in. I've always want to preface this. I am a work in progress. But, you know, talking with Zach and becoming, I think 2025 made us very much closer friends. We were always good friends, but this year was a very tough year for all of us. And there were very real conversations. And I sort of refound my faith in a very organic way. And it just made my life so much better.
Well, I think it is like finding your center in faith in Jesus as opposed to worldly things.
Yeah.
I think your life completely changes when you give it to God.
Yeah.
And you're not chasing from ego.
Yeah.
You're chasing from a place that's going to glorify his creation and the gifts that he's given you. And like, obviously you're an entertainer. So the gifts that he's given you is to be a public speaker, to be a person that can affect people, a person that people listen to, as opposed to, and those are all really great, important things to be a leader in the world.
Yeah.
And I know for myself, especially in my early career as like a young actor, I thought that was, I was serving my ego and I wanted to be famous. Yeah. And like, what could I do to get seen and get famous?
And that's okay. Cause cause what else are you going to, you don't,
I didn't know.
You don't know what you don't know.
I wasn't grounded in faith.
Yeah.
And so like seeing you and your journey, I think like that transformation has to be because of Jesus.
100% agree. 100% agree everything you're saying. But I will say this too, it's still a struggle. Like there's still like these things that it's not like, hey, I found God and I'm like, everything's like,
no. And it isn't for anybody.
Because it's like a constant, I'm like, but what I've realized is like when things get complicated in life, it's because I've walked away from what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And grounded myself around the people and you know, Zach gave me the Bible app for guys like me because he's got the same brain for special people. Because the Bible, I still haven't read the whole Bible.
Yeah.
It's very long. And I'm dyslexic, and the problem I have with the Bible is it jumps all over the place.
Yeah.
All over the place, and it's very confusing.
Yep.
And very small writing.
Yep.
So, but he gave me that app. It's not the Bible app. It's the other one that makes it simple.
This Bible Simplified.
Yeah. You know the thing.
Yeah.
What's that?
So are you listening to that on the app?
Yeah, he gave me that. Zach gave me
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah, we're going back and forth, man. We're trading scriptures. But then there's another one called Daily Devotion that my buddy Eric Tansey gave me. And again, the crazy part, you said something at the beginning of it. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but I think when you are caught in the noise, you don't see it. When you start to look, it becomes apparent, right? Like it's like when a fighter's in a ring and they're in an auditorium and they're in the middle of a battle, they can hear their coach's voice. Right, left hook, jab, jab, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. They can hear it perfectly. Slow your breath down, relax. That's God.
Yeah.
I was like, and I grew up boxing and, you know, that was a thing, but, and I'd be like, oh, that's it. But when I started to go back in and the noise of what it was, it just was I wanting to hear what the honesty was. Was I ready to say I'm flawed? I've made a shit ton of mistakes. But then when I realized once I said, I just was open about it, I'm like, it's a journey and you got to just give it up. And like when I went on this hike with my church and I talk about this a lot because it was a life-changing thing. I didn't want to go. I was like, but and
that's the enemy telling you don't go.
Oh yeah.
Don't go.
And when I really realized that, it was like, my wife was like, what are you afraid of? I'm like, I'm going to go in the woods with a bunch of dudes and it's going to be weird and I can't get away. Yeah. And I'm like, she's like, that's the worst. I'm like, she's like, you're being silly. I'm like, yeah, you are. But I tried to get out of it every way. And then this one guy, Andrew, he's one of our leaders. It was really on me. He was like, hey, dude, like, somebody must have told him, like, I'm going to flake. And there's a part of my character over years is sometimes I just be like, work would be crazy. I would overcommit and I would let people down. But I didn't realize I was letting people down.
Yeah.
My intent wasn't to do that, but I would just overcommit. I was a yes person.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think by doing that, it doesn't serve any purpose to anybody.
Yep.
But also, too, because when I was saying to the guys, yeah, I'm going to go. And then in my internal monologue, I said, I'm not going.
Yeah.
For some reason, I didn't start the narrative to go to them like, hey, this might be coming up. And Andrew was like, hey, I have a feeling you got that look in your eye like you're going to back out. And I was like, no, I'm not. He's like, you're going to be there? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you have your word? I'm like, fuck. Like, yeah. But it was the best thing ever, man. It was, I never cried so much. I didn't even know what to expect. And I can't really put it to words, but I realized that I was holding on to so much pain from my dad dying and I wasn't, as much as thought I was being present with my kids, I was fucking angry about shit that didn't matter. And I wasn't there. And I was caught up in an industry that doesn't give a shit about any of that.
Yeah.
They just suck the light out of you.
Yeah.
And talking about overextending, there has to be a common point where you're like, I got to take care of me right now.
Yeah.
I cannot just drain the tank and then keep smiling and not, you have to. I remember when I broken up with my first real girlfriend, and my mom, being the gem that she is, she's a psychologist, and I was always like, Mom, no, I don't want to hear your wisdom, Mom. Are you giving me a therapy? Like, I would just push back, but she's gems. And she said to me, she's like, son, you travel all the time with your work. Every time you go to a plane, you see a pamphlet that says, in an emergency, oxygen will come down. And when it comes down, you need to put it on your face before you help your wife or your children. And I was like, I know. And I was like, I remember like, Mom, I know where you're going here. And she's like, and instead of me pushing back, I was like, she's like, you have to take care of you. You have to be 100%. It's okay to be selfish and take care of what's going on in here, because you're giving bullshit to the other people.
But it's your soul.
Yeah, and that balance is like a thing. It's hard. You're in the entertainment business. There's all these things, but it's stop worrying about like people we bummed out that you won't be there, or but they want you there. They don't want a shell of the person.
Yeah.
So, and everybody has those things. So, I mean, this year's been just a journey of it. But the best thing that has ever happened was walking through the doors to the church and doing that and seeing it, and then just seeing my kids get involved in it again. And it's
You grew up Catholic, didn't you?
Irish Catholic. Yeah.
Yeah.
We go to church every Sunday. And then when I had my confirmation, my parents were like, hey, we've given you all 3 sacraments. If you want to come to church after the confirmation, you're welcome to. If you don't have to. And what I didn't realize, like, the Catholic Church, it's good in its own way, whatever it is. But it always felt like doom and gloom for me.
Yeah.
There's like these statues are staring down. I'd never been to a Christian church before. And I walked through, it was like music playing, and it just wasn't about like, oh, you had to receive the sacraments before you had the body of Christ, and you had to do all these things. And I was like, I walked in there nervous, and my neighbor, Jason,
shame
yeah. And it was, and he was just like, dude, he's like, relax, you can go up. And I'm like, but I haven't. He's like, no one cares. And then he showed me in the Bible that everyone's welcome at this table. There's no, like, you don't. And I was like, oh, wow.
It's not like, oh, you haven't done your Eucharist, you can't go get the
surrender. Just be like,
Yeah.
So it's been, I mean, it's a journey, and I'll be in it, and then life will pull me away.
Yeah.
And I'll be struggling with something, and I won't know why. And then I'll be like, oh, let me implement the things that I was doing before.
Yeah.
And then all this is just like talking.
What is really cool is like when you like know it, and the Holy Spirit works as like an internal alarm system.
Yeah.
And so like when you feel anxiety, that's the Holy Spirit alerting you.
Yeah.
Or when you feel like discernment towards somebody and you're like, they feel off.
Yeah.
That's the Holy Spirit warning you.
Yeah.
And the more that you tune in and tap into that, the easier it becomes to see it and be like, oh, I've been feeling this weird way for the last week. This isn't serving me.
Yeah.
I need to take a step back. What's challenging is we live in the world and we have bills to pay. And and like, so when it comes to all these things that you're saying yes to, a lot of the times it's because you think it's going to lead to a gig, or I'm expected to be there because it's connected to something that's paying you, and you're the one that's keeping the roof over your head. And so there's that financial pressure too. But I do think that like when you give it to God and you listen, he finds ways for other doors. Like one of the prayers that I pray is like, every day I pray, show me how I can glorify your kingdom. And if it's with our business and everything like that, Lord, if it's for you, please see it through to the end. And if it's not for you, cut it by the head. And if you close a door, please open another one.
Did you come up with this
Yeah,
yourself?
these are just my prayers that I pray.
So how do you say that?
So
close the door.
So if you close a door, please open a new one that is good.
Yeah.
I pray for him to build fruit of the tree in my family and also in our network.
He gave you Zach. That's the fruit of the tree in the family is Zach. He's a fruity little fucker. You hear that, Zach? You hear that, Zach?
Just spending too much time in East Nashville. But then I say, like, if it's not for us,
Yeah.
for our family, for me, cut it by the head. And if it is, see it all the way through. And that doesn't mean it has to be easy, but see it through. Like if we find a challenge, if a challenge comes, find us an answer and help us to get through it and navigate it.
There was this saying, I can't remember how it goes, but it goes on what you're saying. It was like where he says, God, I prayed for all these things and you didn't give me those things. And yeah, I'm paraphrasing, but God's response was, how was it? It was like, I wanted you to realize the things that you didn't need.
Mm-hmm.
Like not like be aware, like you're praying for something that you don't need. I didn't give you things you didn't. That something was like
Yeah.
the things that you need.
Yeah.
The right prayers as opposed
Yeah.
to these other superficial things.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you're right. It's like, but everyone is a lesson. Where that thing where they say, I'm not gonna ask God for an easier road, but broader shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think becoming a dad, that's the thing. And like
Yeah.
you, there's no situation I've been thrown into when I feel like I'm drowning. And what the biggest thing I think too is I had, when I went on this hike and I saw these other amazing men that are absolutely like dominating in the space of them, from real estate development to tech to like just absolutely hundreds of millions of dollars. And they are terrified because they're winging it. They don't, there's no, just because you have money or just, you're still trying to figure it out. You're still trying to show up for your family.
That's the other thing. No one has life figured out.
No.
Anyone who says that they have life figured out are full of baloney.
Yeah, yeah.
No one has life figured out.
And figuring out, like, that's like I feel like when you figure it out, you go to, like, you close your eyes, you die.
Yeah.
Like you're constant being curious all the time is that, I think if you didn't have a dog in the fight, like if you didn't have that, you're Irish, I'm Irish, like that, we've always been in a fight. Like there's, I don't know what it's like just for it to be easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm lucky and blessed and stuff,
Yeah.
but there's still shit that goes on. It just, there's a new mountain to climb.
Yeah.
I always say to my kids, the things you can't say in our house, that it's a swear word. I can't, I won't, are the two main ones. And then when they get to somewhere, that goal that they wanted, being complacent in what they've achieved. The second that if they win something, their eyes are on the next one. Have your moment, focus on the next thing. Complacency kills. The idea that you have to have that drive of like, what's next? What's next? Like, let's enjoy it, but, and not know what's next in a material way, but how do I challenge myself?
Yeah. How do I grow?
How do you grow just a little bit each day? Like with my sons, because it's very physical love, not physical, but like, it's very like, let's do push-ups.
Yeah.
Right. My daughter's like, I want to tell you about my day.
Yeah.
It's so different.
Yeah.
And she will tell me about her day and her theater that she's doing her thing. It's very detailed.
Yeah.
My boys are like, you want to fight me? You go, fight. So it's so different, but it's me being aware. And I think only in the last little bit, I'm like, man, it's their language of love of how they talk to me.
Yeah.
I don't have the answers, but they just want me to be there.
Yeah.
And I'm winging it.
Well,
and
they don't expect you to have the answers either.
Yeah.
They want you to be
but
there.
I always thought my dad had the best answers.
For sure.
I'm like, how are you so smart?
Yeah.
But I realized that he was winging it.
Yeah.
He was like, oh my God, my son bought that story.
But he was present. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
I was very lucky the dad I had.
for sure, like having a parent that is just present and just there, like, number one, that's a great step, because there's a lot of parents who are very absent.
Yeah. And listen, again, I preface this by saying I've been wrapped up in times in work and been like, my wife's like, hey, you need this phone you got to put down. I'm like, but she's like, put it, you need to see your family right now.
Nothing's more important than this right now.
And when you're in it, you're like, but I got to provide, I got to do this. You don't understand. But then it's like, no, stop. And you're like, you're right. Why am I fighting you on this?
Yeah.
Instead of me going, I don't understand what you're like. You don't understand what I'm going through. No, you do, but your family needs you right now. Okay. We're like a safe word. We say banana or pineapple, and then we're like, oh, yeah, you're not. But we just get wrapped up because opportunities few and far between, and we'll just be like, go. But opportunity with your family is few and far between, and that's, that's where you have to think. And it's splitting hairs at the end of the day, and you only know you're on the right path by making mistakes. That's the guardrails that when you don't know a stove is hot and you're going to get burned until you touch it. You could,
Yeah.
if it doesn't burn you,
Yeah.
you don't know. You're going to keep walking. So our journey in life, I think, is defined by the scars on our body. Our scars are our story and our corrected path, because we went, ow.
Yeah.
And then but we have a scar then we go to our next one. And so it's a continual growth, which I think is but again, it's accepting that the scars that I have are a beautiful thing, and I'm flawed. I am so flawed.
Yeah.
I'm fucking flawed.
Yeah.
You know,
Have you ever met somebody who hasn't had a problem? And if you have, I'm sorry for them.
Well, I thought they did, and I dated them, and then they seemed perfect, and then I realized they're psychos, and it was a terrible idea. They just seemed. I was like, I think we're in love, but I was also in Vegas on drugs and very young, and it seemed like a great idea.
God bless that girl.
Yeah. It happened.
All right, guys, I have a confession to make. I have a terrible sense of direction, and it's no wonder I haven't got lost in the woods or eaten by a bear at this stage, but there's a reason for that, and it's because I have Onyx Hunt. Onyx Hunt is incredible. It's an incredible mapping feature, and it has helped me navigate my way out of some pretty sketchy areas using the compass feature. I've been able to get back to my truck. I've been able to drop pins and waypoints to be able to coordinate how to get to A to B, to be able to find that turkey that I saw on the road and knock and get permission. Guys, though, if you really want to know who's a fanatic at dropping pins, it's my husband, Zach. If you look in his phone, he has thousands of these pins. If it was the 1920s, he'd be able to trade them and get some money out of them. But don't take my opinion. Go and download Onyx today and check it out for yourself. Good luck this fall.
Let's talk about Born of Discipline and Born of Spirit. Yeah.
So Born of Discipline, I started this a year and a half ago. It was when I was doing SEAL team, and everything was based around discipline and all these sort of things. But again, it was, when I look back at what Born of Discipline was, which is based on a saying my father always said to me. He's like, you'll have pain from regret or pain from discipline. That was something he said to me at a very young age. I never understood it till after he died and I had kids. And I understood what he was saying. And my dad was always, even on his deathbed, he was like, the pain you will have on your last breath with regret, as opposed to monetary pain of being disciplined and structured.
Yeah.
That's the real needle mover. And then when I started reading entrepreneur books and guys that I were really kicking ass, all they talked about discipline. Motivation is complete bullshit. It is total bullshit. And this analogy that I was given was, say if you had a friend, Mary, that was like, hey, Monday, coffee, hang out, lunch, see you then, can't wait to catch up. You go to the coffee shop, you're there, no phone call, no nothing. It's 12:30.
I have those people, and I cannot stand a flake.
So then it goes to 1:30, 2:30, 3. You're like, bam, didn't come.
Yeah.
Wednesday comes around. Oh man, sorry, I totally forgot. Monday, I'll see you there. We're gonna do it again. I got you. You show up again Monday. They're not there. This goes on for 2 or 3 weeks. Would you hang out with that friend anymore?
Absolutely.
So this is proposed to me. If you won't hang out with that friend, then why are you tolerating the behavior of yourself when Monday comes and you don't put the discipline in to change what needs to be changed in your life and implementing discipline to be the difference? It's not Motivation Monday. That's bullshit. That Motivation Monday has been kicked down the road 300 times. And it's just, because I feel good today. I didn't go hard. I wasn't a weekend warrior. And then Monday, it's Tuesday, then Wednesday, I did keto for 2 days. And Friday, then I'm back up with my friends. And you're like, and you're like, do I look skinny? It's like, you did diet for 1 day. It's like, and again, it's not about diet or anything like that. It's about committing to discipline. Discipline doesn't care about heartbreak. Discipline doesn't care about anything other than you made a deal and you are showing up at this time. Do it sick, do it tired, do it hungry. I heard Jocko say that once, and I was like, yeah, that's something that you implement. So when I first launched the company a year and a half ago, I was based on that. But what I didn't have at the time was my faith. And I made a lot of mistakes in the discipline. in launching that, because I didn't understand structure and taking things to market, and there was an explosion of stuff out of the gates, but there was no infrastructure. So it sort of tied into this sort of relaunch. And when I found God again and it really got rooted in my faith, I realized that everyone says mind, body, spirit. And I was like, discipline has three pillars. It's spirit. You're led by spirit. That goes to the mind. That then goes to the body. The body is the only thing that's left here, but it's the vessel we've been given to thing. In order to take care of that body, you have to be anchored in faith. Your faith is then dictates your mind. Something that I've realized in this is like happiness is a choice. Whether you like it or not, you can, doctors, but if you choose to be happy, if you choose to see greatness, if you choose to see God, you'll see it. No matter how bad it is. If you choose to be negative, you choose to think, words affect everything. Scientifically proven when it talks into water and molecular changes, like so that's the mind part of it. Being cognitive of the mind and how powerful that is. But a mind that is not anchored in spirit drifts.
For sure.
And that anchor of being there and having some sort of structure. Then it's the body. It's the last part. You do all that work, take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Health is wealth.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying you have to be a gym rat, but just take care of yourself. All those three to do all together is next to fucking impossible. But if you have intention and purpose, if your intention is to do that, that's all that matters. Point the ship in the direction. And when a ship is going across the seas, it's pointing in that direction. You're still going to hit rocks and coral and storms and this. You're still there. It's going to suck, but if you're there. And speaking of being on a ship, it's like we're in a society today that I really believe hinders us in that everything's a button. They press it. I want it now. I want this. I want it now.
Yep.
And this therapist that I went to told me one time, he was like, AJ, the change is this much in difference. He goes, if you were on a boat and you were sailing to Australia. Say we're sailing to Australia, right? Shrimp on the bobby. So we're heading to Australia.
FYI, we don't even have shrimp in Australia.
Yeah.
We have prawns
and bugs, Baytown bugs. The bugs, those are good.
Yep.
But if you're sailing to Australia for some bugs, but you realize if you turn the wheel this much, half a degree, in less than a year, that ship will be in China.
Yeah.
Will be on the other side. That's the difference that's discipline.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks it's this big. It's not. It's implementing daily routines. It's start with one thing. Do it every day. My thing started with morning pages and being grateful and really seeing this, cutting the fucking noise out. Stop reading the news and politics and getting. I don't give a fuck about, like, people get so upset about things. I'm like, I can take care of my kids, my family, and I'm going to be a good human in this world. And if my lane is to just take care of what I can take care of and lead with that, if everybody did that, we'd be good. We're so divided, we're so split, and that's by design. And it's not I can't.
We can go down that.
Yeah. It's just like, fuck. Okay, awesome. I wish everybody the best, but I got to get my kids to school.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how to take care of my mom and do all these other things. Like, it's the worst of thing. But so much of it, that's what we hit.
Yeah.
Other big thing was waking up in the morning on the mind side of things. Not looking at your phone for the first hour of waking up.
Yeah.
Not, like, deliberately not looking at it. That does something that really I didn't understand was such a powerful thing. The phone cannot be touched for the first hour.
Yeah.
Wake up, do your thing, have a coffee. Not just because you're just getting whether it's good, bad text.
It's the world. You're starting with the world instead of with the word.
Yeah. And just have that. Exactly. What'd you say there?
You're starting with the world instead of with the word.
Well, I like
You're
that.
gonna put that on a bumper sticker.
Bam, Chappelle. But I feel like those are things that are important. And again, I don't have all the answers on this, but what I've been more excited than anything with this new sort of journey of this was, for me, this worked. Being anchored in faith, led by the Spirit, on the mind thing of how important it is to get your mind right.
Yeah.
And not just like in your mental health, but like getting your finances, getting these things, taking care of things where your things, but also being surrounded by other people that are on that. Yeah. And then really have this realization, like, I can't be just like a gym rat and be healthy on this, but not take care of these other things. You are adrift. So those are the three things. And that's what Born of Discipline is founded on, led by spirits, of faith-based there's apparel, but it's a community of door kickers that are grounded in the big man. So,
I love it.
and I'm really excited about it, man. It's been cool, and it's I guess it's not cool in Hollywood to say, you found God.
Can we talk about that a
Yeah,
little bit?
sure,
Because I
yeah.
feel like a lot of people are very interested in
Yeah.
most of us don't get to know the in of what
Yeah.
goes on in Hollywood, but most of us, I think, in 2026 think that it's pretty demonic and that there's a
Yeah.
lot of weirdos in Hollywood, and
Yeah.
that you're seeing the ones that
Yeah.
aren't stepping out of it, the Gary
Yeah.
Sinises,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
AJ Buckleys, the Mel
This
Gibsons.
is the way I look at it. You be you.
Yeah,
You be you. Don't come to my house and tell me what to do.
yeah,
If I'm leading with good intentions and I'm wishing you well, be on your way.
yeah,
But don't tell me what I cannot do if my intentions are good. Now, if you're a dickhead, I'll tell you to fuck off, and I'll tell you like, hey, you're being a dickhead, and this is probably not a good thing. And if I care about you, if I always feel like someone that is lost and that they don't have one good friend, because anytime I've been out of line or I've lost my way or I was a dick, there's been times where I was reading my own press. I was smelling my own shit and thinking it smelled good. But I had good friends that stepped up like, hey, dude, you're lost right now. Like you are, I don't know what you're doing, but it's not you. I was like, the people that continue to do that and don't have people that say, they've never had good friends. Hollywood, for whatever reason, I'm very grateful for the journey that I've had and the career that I have with Hollywood, and I continue to go up and make the money that I do. And when I say make the money that I do, I mean I able to do what I love, make a living out of it. It's not saying I'm make all this, but I'm showing up to work and I'm doing exactly what I want to do.
yeah,
The problem I've had was like, oh, you got to be careful what you say here. And what that I've found God and I'm excited to talk about it. Okay, I'm gonna push back on that because it's not a bad thing.
yeah,
And I'm okay with them being like, well, I'm like, if this makes me the bad guy, then I'll take it. But you just have to I think when I was younger, I would have been more fearful of it. But I know what it gives, and all I care about is my family. And if for some reason Hollywood was like, you're never going to work again because you're too happy, your life has gotten better, and then we're good.
yeah.
Then okay, I will figure something else out.
But God, I think God, the more that you are bold in your
Yeah.
faith, God provides opportunities that
Yeah.
are right anyway and that
Yeah.
are grounded in
And
that.
the thing is, I'm not here to even be like, I'm a Christian and
Yeah.
I'm better than you. Like,
No.
this is my journey,
This is-
you're asking me how I'm doing. I'm going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, go do it.
Yeah.
I'll pray for you. I might not agree with it, but hey, man,
Yeah.
guess what? That's okay.
Yeah.
We're allowed to disagree.
Yeah.
It's okay to not have the same opinion.
I don't know. In 2026, is
No,
it?
it's not. But I would always say this. Even when I've had a knee jerk reaction to somebody where that's upsetting me with what they're saying, I've really focused on. I want to talk to them and say, how did you get
To that.
to that? Because I feel like we have so many common grounds of our family and this, and we want to provide, and there's so many things we have in common. But there's this couple things that are off. So we've more in common than we don't. But what is it that gets you here?
Yeah.
And I just want to understand what it is, because maybe I'll have more empathy or be like this, or maybe I just realize you're crazy as fuck and we're just can't be friends anymore. But I'll pray for you.
Yeah.
So, but it's like I think just trying to have conversations and going not to segue into this, but when I sort of went back into podcasting and we had the Two Fake Seal thing, which we premiered here, which
Yep.
was really great. And that shit the bed, and I went on my own, and it was a big part of many. Where's your lovely husband? Where's that little fruitcake? He's around here somewhere. I love him. He's the best. Where's Zach? Where is he? Zach's the best. But Zach, both you guys were so good to me, being like, hey, man, you got to believe in yourself. You can do this. And I didn't, it's a different world. Like, you guys have been in it for so long. You're like, no, AJ, so when I went and did the Real Fake Seal podcast, we did, I think, 18 episodes. To me, it was, okay, I'm going to put this out there. This is me to find out if I want to do this. Because it's a lot of work. It is a shit ton of work, and you got to really love it. I didn't know what the show was. I didn't know what the thing was, but I fell in love with doing podcasts because I love talking to people.
Yeah.
I love hearing their story.
Yep.
I love just talking to them and figuring out. And again, I'll get like, I might not agree with it, but hey, man, that's a cool perspective. I might learn something from what you're saying.
Right.
And then we have more in common after a conversation of just talking.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like when you actually sit there and talk with someone you disagree with,
Yeah.
with an open thing, like, oh, I actually never saw that way. Like if you and I were to look at like a piece of art on the wall,
Yep.
you go to a gallery.
Yeah.
If you have two people on either side and you have the artist in the middle,
Yeah.
have the person on the left give it what they think the artist was doing, and have the person on the right do what they're doing, give their interpretation. When the artist says what they wrote or what they did, it has nothing to do with it. But the two people over here are arguing about fucking bullshit. That means nothing.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
It's such a waste of time. And as we get older and with kids, you see my mom getting older, like it's like they're seeing their eyes get older. Time is so precious. And I never thought that I'd be like, oh, time is so precious. Seeing my kids, if I go away do a movie, I come back 4 or 5 months later, they look different. They're getting older. My daughter's now asking me real questions, which I'm terrified of. But that's part of this thing that we're on, and all those things that distract us from being a good parent or being in the moment. Like we can't control that. Like only worry about the things you control. Yet easier said than done. But I really feel that's been something that's rings in the back of my head. All my wife always says, AJ, you can't control it. Don't worry about it. But getting into the podcasting stuff again, and then sort of relaunching, rebranding the show as just the AJ show.
Yeah.
It's the AJ show,
which is what it is.
Time to shine.
To 100, I don't think I lose my enthusiasm.
It's a funny, so there's a tagline that totally kidding unless you're serious. And I have a funny story of that. And I'm sure it's appropriate for your audience, but I'll tell it anyways. So I was at my buddy's 40th birthday, and there was this guy that came that I'd never met before, but he was he was a ball of energy, needless to say. Really funny. Don't think he slept and don't think he stopped drinking. But anytime he'd go out to the bar, he was looking for paraphernalia from the locals. And he'd always preface be like, do you have any? And they'd look at me like, what'd you just say? He'd go, totally kidding, unless you're serious. And I was like, that's the greatest thing of all time. He'd be like, because they'd be like, oh, and he'd be like, unless you're serious. And I was like, so when I rebranded the podcast with AJ Buckley Show, totally kidding, unless you're serious, I was like, that's a perfect thing. It's like, because it'll be funny. So again, the journey that I've been on and this, if you look at the year from where we were last, I mean, even you guys look at this to what it is there, and the journey you guys been on with your podcast, which you've been,
doing a long time.
But it's not. So this is what I say. You've been doing you for a long time. You now have a bigger platform.
Yeah.
And there's this. It's consistent. There's this journey. People are getting to see it. Each one is different within its own same, even though it has the same host.
Well, and I think the thing is, like, with all of it, it's being disciplined, honestly. Just showing
and
up.
look how hard this year was for us, but yet
Yeah.
look at the booth, how much different it is. You got your family here, you got people here, that love you, and you guys have been through it, but you weathered through that storm again. And like as much as you were saying, probably like, what was it, the prayer you were saying again?
If it's for me,
yes.
see it through to the
And we
end.
were upset
Yeah.
a lot of the times in 2025. We're like, why is this happening to us?
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
both getting
Yeah.
knocked down and fucking, oh my God. But now look where we are here.
Yeah.
I launched my Born of His Spirit tomorrow. You're absolutely crushing on here. We're here, NWTF, and I can finally say NWTF. Remember last year I couldn't even say it. I'm like, what is it called? National White Turkey Federation. And I'm like NW. I couldn't say it, but this year I feel like I'm like, hey, you're back at NWTF.
Hey you,
yeah.
hey you.
Turkeys. Turkey. And
Speaking of turkey, we need to get you on this brew. It's got to happen.
On which?
Turkey.
A turkey hit? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And so what I have to say this is, so my favorite person to ever talk to me about turkeys is Jason Hart.
Is he around anyway?
Where's Jason Hart?
We see
Let me
Jason.
tell you about the turkey. The turkey's a very elusive animal.
Really, he's not. Yeah.
He's not. But Jason Hart is just, when we went on that pheasant hunt, because I didn't understand. I'm like, guys, a turkey, how hard is it to shoot a turkey? Let me tell you about the turkey.
The wild turkey.
Yeah, but and he's hunted a turkey in every state.
Yeah, he's chasing 49.
Is there turkeys in Ireland? In Australia?
There's one little island off of Adelaide.
Turkey Island?
Yeah, it's Turkey Island off of Adelaide that has them.
Yeah.
But New Zealand has them. They're not. We have brush turkeys in Australia. We don't have wild turkeys, but one spot has wild turkey.
Oh, wow.
They're very, very like much in North America, and then you've got the ocellated in Mexico, and then Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. Zach was just talking about Hawaii, and he's like, you want to go Hawaii and hunt turkeys? Like, yeah.
We really want to do that. We have not done that one yet. And I love the idea of going and like being in Hawaii spring, going hunting a turkey and then being down at the beach.
Yeah, that doesn't suck. Yeah, I want to get my kids out because now the boys are 8. Willow's wanting to go. And I think now the boys are 8.
Oh, they'll eat it up.
I brought them to a blind before, and I'm like, you guys have to whisper. And I'm like, you have to whisper. And they go, Dad, is this whispering? And like they're yelling, but they're doing it in their own voice. I'm like, no. And then they whisper for 2 seconds, and then they start yelling. So but we were in a blind together. So, but I think now they're starting to understand what whisper is.
Yeah.
Like they have to mouth it.
Yeah.
And you can't.
We need to film that. If we're going to take them on their first turkey hunt, we need to film that. That would be really cool.
And your little monkey too. Has she gone on a turkey hunt yet?
She's come. She came last spring on one hunt, and she totally busted it, which I don't care at all. We were laughing about it. She was like, Zach and her were like hiding by a tree about 60 yards away, and Zach's calling, and then the turkey Tom comes in and starts gobbling, and she goes, "What's that?" Like really loud. And I was like further down with the gun set up, and I just started laughing. The bird completely disappeared. So But lastly, let's talk about this movie that you're working on at the moment. Yeah.
It's a movie called The Crying Boy. I'm actually really proud about this. This is a book series that I got the rights to 5 or 6 years ago. I was watching the most haunted artifacts on National Geographic, and they did the top 10 most haunted artifacts. I thought Annabelle was the most haunted artifact, and Annabelle came in number 2. And then it said the most haunted artifact, the number 1 thing, and I was like, wait, think that I've heard it before, and they said the Crying Boy painting. It's the most documented supernatural painting that's ever existed. Anywhere this painting is being hung, the building's burnt down, the painting survives. They did massive reprints, and all these houses burnt down. It's this crazy thing. So I randomly saw this. I hate horror movies. I hate everything about them. They give me anxiety. I don't like to watch them. But I was like, that's crazy. I've never heard this before. And Annabelle had done something like $3.2 billion in the box office. And I was like, let me just see there's a book. I cold called the author, and she was like, hey, I'm like, has anybody optioned the book? She's like, no. I'm like, can I option this? She's like, yeah, which never happens.
Yeah.
Never. It's the most haunted artifact. So I got that. It was like 5 or 6 years ago. And then I brought one of my best friends on to write it. I brought the financing. Zachary Levi is our lead. We're in New Orleans right now. We're in prep. We start filming in April.
Yeah.
But it's going to be good. So this is the second part, the new chapters of my career. The acting stuff, obviously still doing that, but I've really gotten more in behind the scenes. I've got a series set up right now.
So you're directing or producing or what?
This is just producing. I'll produce and act in this. I have another series that I sold to Amazon that I'm producing, not based on a book. Over the years of doing SEAL Team, I started buying a bunch of books and IPs. Thank God for books on tape because I can't read. So books on tape are just thing. And then for me, it's a little bit of a hustle, like finding if it's available, when did the rights end, when to turn around, and like just getting it. So, and then when you have these sexy IP and you can go to thing and put it together, it's just fun. And then it's just bringing your friends that you worked with over the 30 years I've been in this business and be like, you, and come and you can come to work. And I think if anything, you really realize how important it is to be a good person on set.
Yeah.
And to succeed as a producer.
Yeah.
Or anywhere in life, you're only as good as your last job.
Yeah.
And by being a dick to people and you know, not being a team player, like the best idea always wins. Everything goes to the wayside. So I've been very fortunate in the sense that I've got I've got a good reputation. There's been some bullshit rumors from some former.
That you're a diva.
Yeah. I'm like, all right, pal. I'm like, I wish I was. It looks like fun for a day. But yeah, it's been a journey, man. I mean, I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky.
Since 1973, the National Wild Turkey Federation has been working tirelessly to conserve the wild turkey and to preserve our hunting heritage. Today, the need for hunters to get involved is just as important as the wild turkey is facing declines, and the continuation of our outdoor pursuits are at risk in many parts of the country. Visit nwtf.org and join for just $35 to leave a lasting legacy that will help conserve wildlife and unite a nation through life-changing power of the outdoors.
That was a lesson that I learned in film school. I went to New York Film Academy at Warner Brothers in Gold Coast, Australia, and my coach said to us, y'all are going to learn, even though you're here doing a conservatory of acting, you're going to do film studies as well, and you're all going to learn how important every role is on set, from the gaffer to the lighting to sound, everything. Yeah. And so that was a big component of my entire film degree was in taking on every single, I spent like a month as a gaffer.
Yeah.
And like learning all of the roles. And then I think that was really good for me going into my career, because I learned it doesn't matter what your role is on set, everybody's important and it all affects everything.
Yeah.
And everybody should be treated with integrity.
Yeah, I agree. And I think a good leader is not someone that is making decisions based solely on what they think is the best. A good leader is someone that is able to put a team together and move as a unit.
Yep.
And the one thing that I'm blown away by on this sort of next chapter is being 30 plus years in this, over 1,000 episodes of television, 50, 60 films. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
And there's just so much I don't know. But what I've learned more than anything is just surrounding yourself with the right people. And I've made this rule with my wife. You know, if I spend time away from my family, my kids, who I choose to spend that time with when it's not with them is what matters. I don't care what the money value is.
Yeah.
If it is not going to move the needle
Fill my
inside me,
cup up. And,
it's not worth missing a football game or wrestling or whatever because to go just get a paycheck.
Yep.
It has to be the right, because that time you'll never get back. And having that perspective, and I'm very fortunate to be it, but that's a choice. It's not a money. It's just like I'm only going to work with people that there's no assholes allowed. Well, we all have tough days, but we're not gonna. It's not worth putting that work and effort in and spending that time with people if someone is there that is not wanting the person that's sitting across the table from you is not wanting you to succeed. Mm-hmm. I think I heard Uberman say, never trust or never do business with people that you wouldn't share a dinner table with.
For sure. Oh my gosh, that rule should apply for weddings, right?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Don't invite people to your wedding that you wouldn't buy dinner outside of the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah. Uncle Larry. Sorry, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
AJ, thank you so much for coming on the show. We could talk forever,
I know.
So I need to come on your show now.
You do.
We need to get down to South Carolina this spring, shoot a turkey.
Yeah, it'll be good.
But it's always a pleasure.
Well, I love you guys. Thanks for always being so supportive. And
I do want to add in there, you also influenced us, like Zach, in terms of our health.
Yeah.
After your conversation with Zach last year, like the two of us, like pretty much completely stopped drinking.
Yeah.
And really started to take that stuff seriously, and really it changed our lives in a really positive way. So
well, man, we're there to make each other better, and again, it's
it's exactly what you said.
Yeah. So all right, well, I love you guys, make sure you go check out this one on Phyllis Streams, just kicking ass.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
And there's my honeyboo over there. See Zach? Look at that little stud. He's wearing my hat. Look at that dope hat. That's good.
Awesome.
All right, bye.
Thanks, mate. Bye.
Store.